If you like your centre backs to have pace, well, this guy's the man for you. What's happening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Stars of Tomorrow, an FM22 series where we look at the young talent on Football Manager and we see how they get on over the course of their careers. You can make suggestions for this series if you want, either in the comment section, which is not liable, but you can make it there, or there's a section in my Discord where you can come have a conversation about your request, about information, and I can have a to and fro with you. I do say, the reason why I say Discord is easier for me is because obviously you can I get notification straight away, whereas on YouTube I miss comments out because they don't tell me. Also on Discord there's plenty of places to put your own save, get help on saves, other content, chat with me, all that stuff in there, and even submit your ideas or your screenshots for your save Saturday, which is a little feature on the current Let's Play at the time where I show a screenshot or a video clip from your game. So that's why Discord is very cool to be in there. I also put updates from my private save Man United in there as well, which I'm going to put in. I don't know when I'm going to put it in the general section or it's a section on its own, but you want to see updates from Man United save, you can, and conversation about it, you can look in there as well. Right, down below, second channel with FIFA content as well, 2 career modes, and all the team is on there. So we've now got today's player, which is Illia Zabarnyi. It's probably wrong, but it's close. I'm going to get getting it right. A Ukrainian centre back. First of all, again about the videos in Ukraine, it's horrific to watch. So if you've got family there or you've been affected by it, hope you're safe if you can, and then thoughts go out to you with what's going on there. Didn't realise he was Ukrainian until actually went into the screen, looked at him on here, and didn't realise. So I wanted to say that. Hopefully there's a peaceful solution soon, but it's horrible to watch it every evening, isn't it? So he's a young centre back and he has a max potential rating of 170, which I've set to because obviously that's how the series works. Defender is the 3 main attributes: heading, marking and tackling, all 13 and above. For an 18-year-old, that's fantastic. He's got good composure and good teamwork. His marking is good, anticipation is 13 good as well, and physicality you can see here already. Looking good. He likes diving tackles at long range and tries long range passes. So the key thing to look at this review would be, does that passing get above 11? If it does, then maybe we've got a really good. Maybe we can make a DM really if you want to work it, but I won't do that myself. So I'll do a scout report for you. Again, if you're new to this series, I always take on Manchester United and do a scout report. It's just easier just to have a consistent thing I do every single time. Obviously, each player, each team will be different, especially this guy who's got a range of 170 maximum, so he might not get to that for you. As you can see here, that he's got poor technique, he's still very young, but he's fairly susceptible to injury, so we're going to see what happens with that. And we do check injuries out anyway, but that's going to be even more key to look at because he's got that issue of injuries potentially. Wants to join Manchester United on loan or permanently. The big fee though, for 31 to 37.5 million pounds, could be a lot of money, but again, you have to look at it yourself. And each day is different. Booked over team, spirited, we get the work permit, fair amount of pace, and fairly consistent. That's the key thing for me when I'm looking at my players going forward. If they've got that fairly consistent performer, then that's great. Too many players I've got being inconsistent on Football Manager down the years, and I need to look at this a bit more and take more time on transfers and get more fun in diving into these kind of things. So, has he got this clause in his contract? He has not, which we'll just confirm that. What's his weak foot like? He's weak on his left foot, strong on his right foot. So bear that in mind. First be on the right hand side of the pairing. So, I don't think we're going to see many goals and assists, but let's just see how he generally develops across the technical, mental and physical stats. Alright folks, straight away as you can see we've got a massive jump in his physical attributes, which is not a big surprise based on how where they started from. The passing still at 11. Mental stats are relatively the same here, there's nothing really increasing massively here. And then heading, marking and tackling have gone up to 14 on marking and heading, and the tackling is up to 16. Good anticipation though at 15, which is great. He's lost the trait, they've taken it off. Well, I'm guessing they've taken it off. Still back at all times and dives. Still got diving tackles though, and he's quite not aggressive though, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue. Now, the key thing was injuries. We saw on his scout report, it's fairly susceptible to injuries. So look at this now, shall we? Right, so we started it in 2021 and he's had one big injury for 2 months. This doesn't concern me massively. Again, it could be a problem, but he's still developing quite well, so I don't know. Is it amount of injuries, or is it severity that makes it, that's, you know what I mean? Like, if there's a lot of little injuries, is that worse than one big one? I don't know. Because you can argue that lots of little injuries, like 2 weeks, 1 week, 8 days, whatever, miss games, and rather than one injury. I don't know, but again, make it what you will. So there is a release clause in his contract. Now this, of course, is dependent on your own save. There's no guarantee you'll get it in yours, but bear in mind that they potentially could put this in their deal as well. For him, 47.5, it won't be the same. I'll be almost certain it won't be the same as what I've got here. For continental clubs, so that'll be Conference League, Europa League, Champions League, all that stuff. So interesting to see where he goes. He wants to leave the club right now. He's got information here. He's got wants to move to a bigger club. So let's see where he moves to. I think he needs to leave Dynamo Kiev. I think he's ready to. He needs to get realizes his potential, but also I think he needs to leave now and test himself. Well, surprisingly, he's gone to Newcastle United. I thought he would go somewhere else, but bear in mind, Newcastle United got a lot of money on the game this year, of course, with the new takeover. That could be really fun to do at some point in the series. I doubt we'll do it this year, but the only problem I have with doing this kind of Newcastle United series is because of the owners. I don't agree with the owners being within Premier League, so whilst it's a fun save, it'd feel weird doing it. But look at the mental stats, massively increased. The key ones, there's no negative side there really for me. Physically, oh my god, he's insane. He's absolutely insane physically, and that's very impressive. Technical stats, not great passing, 12, not terrible. Tackling, marking, heading, all good. Can't fault him there. His traits, he's got knocked for past opponents, tries to play out of trouble and stay back at all times. I just worry about his technique and passing for that. I'd be worried that he would make mistakes. Again, you can't be based that on. We can't look at that really based on this now, because obviously we don't see the games that he's been playing. So history, let's look at the injury record here. Okay, quite a lot. At a glancing view, none no longer. That is a worry. That is a worry for me, actually. I'm looking at it now. It's weeks and then months. So, but again, 2 days, 9 days, 7 days. There's a lot of days in there, but. Okay, it's something to be aware of. I don't know whether that will be something that happens in yours. So £53 million paid for him. And in goals and assists, 3-1 there, 5-3, 3-3, 1-3, 2-4. It's not something really relevant in this review with a defender. But yeah, I think great physically, great mental stats, solid technical ability. The worry is those injuries. Again, maybe you get lucky. Maybe you don't, but that's something to be aware of with this guy when you sign him. So let's continue, guys, and just go for another 3 years and see those technicals going a bit higher when he gets a bit older. 3 more years, because it gets to 30 and 32, you see a drop off in the physical stats, don't you? Right, as you can see here, physical stayed the same, mentals are relatively still very high, maybe a slight increase on some of them, and the technical stats have stayed relatively the same as well, which is great. Injury record, about 29. Yeah, it's a worry. It's a worry now. Now we've seen the full. It's a long list, longest they've ever done on injuries. So something to be aware of, really. Maybe you've got to be very careful with him. I don't know if you could rest him more after a period of games and training or something like that could help it out. But definitely something to be wary of. Goals and assists, again, not really relevant because he stays back all the time. But he could be a threat in the penalty area with those strength and jumping reach. So set pieces could be handy. If he can get in there. Transfer fee, £53 million. It's not massively overpriced, but I think with the worry about the injuries, it could be something you have to be aware of. You have to maybe try and lower that down a little bit, or base it on achievements and installments, and that'd be fantastic. We also don't know how they structured that deal, but yeah, I like the guy. I like the mentals, I like the physical, and there's nothing really wrong with him apart from those injuries. The player traits, he likes to play out from the back. I would be slightly worried about the technique and the passing there, but if you play a DM, it's not as easy, is it? Not as difficult, I suppose, for him to play out from the back then. But the only downside is those injuries, really. And I'd be concerned if I was you. I'd be concerned by it. But then again, maybe he wasn't lucky in this save. Maybe in your save, you could be a bit more lucky with those injuries. So, if you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have enjoyed it, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you're new as well. Down below, my TV channel's down there as well with the career modes and the Ultimate Team series on there. Well, say series, it's more of an update. If you've got a play you want to look at, guys, feel free to leave in the comment section, or better yet, in Discord to have a conversation with me about that. The only reason I say Discord is because it's just easy for me to see the comments on Discord, because I look into it and it just tells you straight away. You can tag me in it, you see. Whereas on YouTube, it doesn't always tell me. It's really, really poor. But yeah, you feel free to put me anywhere. As much info as you can on the player. Only 2 requests at one time, please. I've got a list of players I'm looking through as well, and I'll add into your list. I want to get through my list and then get to yours, unless your player is the same player as I've got on my list. Then we'll go from there. But you will get your player done, guys. I'm going to try and get some videos out quick as I can for this series. Thanks for watching. See you next time.